Oh, hi everyone. So I recently got this question and I was being asked what's the difference between GitHub Codespaces and IDX. And of late, I've been asked to make projects and demos on both of these platforms. I thought I just want to contrast some of the differences and what are the pros and cons of each in this video, right? So let's get on to it. Hi, my name is David and I am a chapter lead at AI Camp London, where we run monthly tech meetups and networking for sort of software developers and all sort of professionals who want to get into AI. Yeah, so let's get to it. So I just wanted to give a view of the current space that we are in. Just quickly here. So we have on the most left hand side GitHub Codespaces and Project IDX. Then these are VS Code based forks that you can use on the browsers. In fact, all of these are browser based places where you can develop code. I was also looking at things like Replit and Gitpod. So these are custom online interfaces where you can really build out the whole app and also do the DevOps on the same platform. I think Replit is a bit more targeted towards the smaller user and Gitpod to the enterprise level, but essentially they do the same sort of thing. We also have other places that can test out develop code as well. I really like Google Colab. I like Kaggle. In fact, personally, this is where I started my coding journey by just going onto a Kaggle notebook and mashing out some code there. These are Jupyter notebook-based environments, and they're really great for data science-based work, Python-based work, or machine learning. I would recommend that you start there. And just a shout out here, I also quite like Observable. It's kind of like a custom-made Jupyter interface, and it's really meant for building out dashboards with D3. So just a nice shout out for them. Again, I'm not affiliated or sponsored by any of these. It's just what I've been using and what I've been looking at in the space. And yeah, so if you complete beginner to the space, your question is which one should I choose? It depends whether you're going down the software route or data route. I would say pick one of each and work out, try it on that and see if you're comfortable with it, and then move on from there. I would recommend Kaggle. That's the easiest one to get started with, but it's anyone's beef really. So I'd just like to point out as well that there are local IDEs where you can use on your own local setup, your own computer. And probably you might be familiar with some of these already, and they've been in the space for pretty long, like PyCharm, VS Code. NeoVim is a Vim-based editor and IDE. And on the second row, I'd like to point out there are also emerging AI embedded IDEs as well, like Cursor AI, Windsurf AI, and Bolt. I really like these as well. I'm been playing around with them. I am on Cursor quite a lot too, and they're starting to bring some of the agent-based code generation, which is really fun. For example, in Cursor, you can call it the composer, and it will go through your code space and make changes in several files in your project via an agentic system. It's hit and miss, but I do like it to make really targeted changes, to be honest. But anyway, let's get back to our initial question. So if I'm a complete beginner and I wanted to choose a place where I can learn to start the code, and probably from the software development side, either GitHub Codespaces or IDX would be nice. So these are the pros for each. I would say for GitHub, obviously there's very strong integration with your Git repos. You launch it from there, and when sharing these repos with your colleagues or friends, they can launch it there and test out the code pretty easily. So it's already a nice place to share with other developers. Lots of developers would be familiar and already have a GitHub account, so that's really easy. And they're also quite integrated with Copilot. You just pop in an extension and you can get Copilot AI running for your code generation. And they have this feature called pre-built containers where you can already install the custom packages that you need for the developmental space and just save it as a config file and on your GitHub account. So when other people launch it, they also get a similar sort of work environment, and it's quite easy to replicate stuff there. On IDX hand, that's a product from Google. It's a beta product, but I really like how it's closely integrated with Google Cloud. So if you're deploying lots of stuff there, I quite like it. Of course, it's integrated quite closely with the AI system, which is Gemini. So you get to chat with Gemini, do the code gen via Gemini, and that's really quite closely knitted. They also have this special system which is similar to GitHub Codespaces. I think they call it the Nix system. So you save your config within a .nix file in the environment, and that will spin up the source container similar to GitHub. So pretty neck to neck, I would say. Again, if you're starting out new, just choose one, stick with it, go with it. And once you're familiar, you can start to tweak your own approach to your choice of tools. At the end of the day, they're all tools, and we want to build, so let's get building. I'm just going to do a quick demo on this to let you see what it really looks like. Let me bring it up. Here we go. Here we are. Yeah, so I have my GitHub account here, and this is a very simple repo that I have. So to launch the Codespaces, it's quite easy. Just click the code button and press this, and that will start up the Codespace for that repo. As you can see, if you've launched up VS Code before, it looks pretty much the same, and you will see already that the Git has already been cloned into that space and can start writing your code already. Yeah, so pretty easy. And I'll show you IDX as well. So IDX is a similar thing. You can also clone the repo, put that link in from the earlier repo that I have. They also have other test apps that you can try out. So we can go Gemini test. And so I really like this. I do use Flask quite a bit for my Gemini integration, and when I send it off to the cloud, I deploy it. I do use that environment quite a bit, so it's nice to see that's already included as a template in IDX. So similarly, it will spin up a container and a VS Code environment in your browser that you can use.